three matchups that you will be excited to watch tomorrow, right? And I'm going to start with the first one, right? I'm going to say the matchup that I'm excited to watch is Kenyon Drake versus Quan Alexander. People fail to realize that Quan Alexander from sideline to sideline is probably one of the fastest linebackers in the league, right? Now, the Arizona Cardinals also have one. They have Isaiah Simmons. This guy ran a 4.39, and then he ran a 4.41 in the second round of 40-yard dash runs. So that is something that I'm very excited to see. Also, I'm excited to see DeAndre Hopkins and Richard Sherman. Yep. I'm very excited to see that because the last time Richard Sherman played against DeAndre Hopkins when he was with the Houston Texans, he had 4 receptions and he had less than 50 yards receiving. So I'm definitely excited to see that. I'm not going to take the third one because I know somebody else is going to take the third one. We have one of the best left tackles in the league. So I'm going to leave that one to somebody else, right? My third one will also be our special teams versus the Arizona Cardinals special teams. People forget that special teams is very important to an NFL game, right? Field position is everything. When you punt the ball, you want to be able to pin those guys between the 20 and the 15-yard line. Also, I want to see how our kick returners react in this game. We don't know if it's going to be Richie James. We don't know if it's going to be Jerick McKinnon. We don't know if it's going to be Trent Taylor, right? So I want to see how our special teams play against the Arizona Cardinals this game because I think that having a great special teams is very important. I also want to see if Raheem Mostert is still going to be the gunner because in one of his press conferences, Raheem Mostert said he wanted to be one of the best. He wanted to be the best running back in the league when he steps on the field. And he said, even on the special team side, I want to be the best gunner when I'm gunning on the field. So I want to see if Raheem Mostert is the gunner for our team still. I'm going to pass it to Jason.
Okay. So as far as the gunner thing, I think that if Coleman doesn't play, I don't think that the 49ers can use Mostert there. And if I was guessing, if Coleman doesn't play, Jeff Wilson will probably take that role because he's fine. He's capable to do that in special teams. Yeah. But I think that, if Coleman misses, you're going to get a heavy dose of Raheem, like a heavy dose. Again, Dre, we've said it like the last 3 shows, right? Knock on Lynch's door, ask for more money. Cool. Now go get it. Like now's the time. Now we're going to give you the ball. Same thing with Kittle, right? Knock on the door, ask for more money. Let's go. Like carry us in a game where we're down a player or two. Take us to the promised land this week.
If Coleman doesn't play, do they call up JaMychal Hasty?
Probably. They're gonna have to keep that many backs on the. They just have to. I'm not certain. How does that work, Grant? Like just they declare him out and then they can pull him up on game day, or how many guys can they bring up from the practice squad per game? Two. So you would say probably Hasty and
I don't know about Hasty. I think that's probably
that's it. Just Hasty.
Grasu. Mm-hmm. The center.
I was going to say, like, they have to probably keep more linemen just in case, right?
Yeah. I would think so. Yeah.
All right.
Maybe Deion.
All right, Jason. So go through your 3 matchups.
I got 3. So I'm going to steal one of yours. Like, I am super, super intrigued to watch Richard Sherman follow DeAndre Hopkins if he does. Like, I want to see if this man concept that's in is something that was just in camp, or if this is something that we're going to see as a little bit of a philosophical change with this defense, and they're going to allow Richard Sherman and Hopkins match up perfectly. This isn't speed on Sherman, right? Like this isn't Sammy Watkins or Tyreek Hill or any of those guys or anything like that, right? Like Hopkins isn't a fast guy. He doesn't win that way. Like that's not the way he wins. So Sherman can guard him, but like we won't. I would be shocked to see him get beat by Hopkins. I want to see how well he does on a one-on-one matchup. I want to see Kittle against Isaiah Simmons or Budda Baker. Like you literally, everybody's talking about Kittle stoppers, and we gave Budda Baker this money, and we brought in Isaiah Simmons for this. Cool, let's see it. I want to see it now. Let's see what you can do. I think that Isaiah Simmons is going to find out that this level is a little bit different than that level that he was on. So we'll see. I mean, it's hard for any rookie to just come in and immediately be exactly what you want him to be, let alone somebody without any preseason, and let alone somebody going up against somebody as good as George Kittle and as Jordan Reed when it comes to running routes. And then the other one, I'm not going to take the other one. I'll let Grant use that one. But I'm interested to see.
You guys took them all, man.
No. There's one more. He knows which one it is.
There's a couple of more.
I'm interested to see how this defense contains Kyler Murray in the pocket. Like I want to see them not allow him to get into a rhythm with the zone read, start to use that play action and build off that, because then that's when Arizona starts cooking. Dre, I know you don't want to hear this. 49ers fans, I know you don't want to hear this. When I watched both of these games, goodness gracious, Kyler Murray makes some throws, man. Oh my God. The throw that he made to Andy Isabella, we talked about it, right? And I didn't get to show it, but it's a dime. Like, it's a dime outside of the numbers, you know, like, and I want to make sure that he doesn't get into a rhythm, because once they start going up tempo is usually when there's the issue of when they start really moving. So I want to see how this 49ers defense is going to slow down Kyler Murray, especially since they're
not worried.
Not worried. Got it, Dre. I need some of that drink that you got here. I'm a nervous Purvis about this all week, but yeah, Grant.
All right, Grant, go ahead with your 3.
All right, I got more than 3. It starts with Kittle and Isaiah Simmons. That's where the game is to me, because if the Cardinals have to double team Kittle, then that opens up everything for the Niners offense, and it helps them when they don't have Emmanuel Sanders, Deebo Samuel, who knows how much Brandon Ayuk can play. But if Isaiah Simmons can hold his own man-to-man, one-on-one, then the Cardinals can play straight up against the Niners defense, and all of a sudden Jimmy may not have places to go. I mean, he's not going to go to his wide receivers as much if it's Dante Pettis. So I think that's a key matchup. And what's interesting is, like, you think, like, well, no one can cover George Kittle one-on-one. Well, Kittle in his career has only scored 12 touchdowns. So he's going to put up yards on you, but is he going to beat you with touchdowns and points? He hasn't necessarily. And that's what the Cardinals did last year. They just put Devondre Campbell one-on-one on Kittle, and they were like, look, we know Campbell can't really cover him, but, you know, is Kittle going to beat us? No. And the Falcons won the game. So Kittle ended up having like 12 catches, 100 and something yards, 40 yards, no touchdowns.
134 yards.
130. I mean, great game, no touchdowns. The Falcons won. So I think the Cardinals are going to try to do something similar there. It might get them burned, because if you single cover Kittle, that's where the ball's going. So I want to see how that goes. I want to see K'Wan Williams against Larry Fitzgerald, because everyone's focused on Sherman and Hopkins, but they still have Larry Fitzgerald, who still is he had 80-something catches last year. He's still 6'3". That's a tough matchup man-to-man with K'Wan Williams, who's 5'9". I think the Niners are going to have to play a lot of zone in this game, because there's some tough matchups. I mean, unless Tavarius Moore comes down and covers him man-to-man as a nickel, that'll be interesting. Obviously, Chandler Jones against Trent Williams. Trent Williams has done great against Chandler Jones in the past, but I'm interested to see this because Trent Williams is coming off almost a 2-year layoff. He had no preseason. He's a great player, but rust is real. And just going against Nick Bosa for 10 reps in training camp is not the same thing as going against Chandler Jones for an entire game in a real game. It's not the same. So I'm just curious to see how ready Trent Williams is. I know he's a great player, but that's not what I'm looking for week 1. I'm curious to see these guys who haven't played in year 2.5 years, him, Jordan Reed, Jerick McKinnon, how ready are they for week 1 without preseason? Because this is a weird year. And then what else am I interested in? I'm curious to see the matchup of the quarterback spy on Kyler Murray when the Niners play man-to-man coverage. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Jimmy Ward, Tavarius Moore, Quan Alexander, Fred Warner? Can anyone run down Kyler Murray when he's in the open field? Because when they played at Levi's last year, Kyler Murray ran for a bunch of yards. That's what I'm interested in.